Hey everyone, I'm Dan Kaplan from SE Magazine. I am here with Amikai Schulman, who is the CTO of Imperva, which provides data security. And today we're talking about a number of things that Imperva is up to, some of the research that they're uncovering, as well as some of the general trends within the industry that they focus on. Amikai, first I want to talk about this new hacker initiative that you guys have unveiled, where you're going to be really probing some of the stuff going on in the criminal underground and producing reports out of it. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. So this is something that we've been building up for the past 18 months and announcing a few months ago. We got to the conclusion that it's not enough to just build generic protections against attacks. We need to know what is going on now on the hacker world. What are the actual attacks? What are the actual threats right now? And it will help us to identify attackers rather than attacks, and it will help us to improve the security of existing attacks. So we are using a number of different methods to collect the information. We have a number of probes deployed around the world from which we take the information. Some of the information we actually take manually from hacker forums and either process manually or automatically. And the bottom line is that we have all this information coming in and we're analyzing it, making our own conclusions and making them public, which is, I think, the most important thing for me in this whole initiative. Making this information public, educating people about what is going on in reality, and providing better products and better security for our customers.
Mm-hmm. So it'll certainly help you better refine your products based on what you guys find, but the big thing for you guys is transparency. Are a lot of researchers finding this stuff and then not publicizing it? Is that
well, judging by the responses to some of our public announcement, definitely yes, because we've announced some stuff and then a researcher would kind of say, well, I know about it for at least a year now. And I'm saying, well, okay, so what have you done with that? Who knows about that? And what have you done to make customer life better with that information? And I know that there are companies doing great work out there, getting hacker intelligence, but I think that more of this information should be public, and I think that we are seeing companies going public with this information in recent months.
What are we going to see from you guys? Can you tell us anything that your team may have uncovered so far?
So we have come public with some information. We've uncovered an interesting server-side botnet that was aimed at launching distributed denial of service attacks from servers rather than desktop machines. We've uncovered and made public an interesting cross-site scripting scheme. Cross-site scripting has been considered, a very dangerous vulnerability in the application security world for years, but yet, no one really saw an actual cross-site scripting campaign. And we were able to see live campaigns, and we made the information public. We were able to trace back the people who benefited from those campaigns, and we were able to see the information that they were collecting and how they were collecting that information. Another interesting campaign that we've seen, and this is, what an amusing story, is people that provided phishing and spam infrastructure for hackers, and what they were doing is, while hackers collected information through that infrastructure, they were taking this information as well. So actually you would go and throw out a spam and phishing campaign, and the owner of the infrastructure would benefit as well, quite probably without you knowing that. Mm-hmm. But that's no honor and motive.
Sure. So, and for customers that you guys service, obviously, some of those criminal operations that are going on certainly should concern them quite a bit. What are some of the big trends that your customers must be dealing with at this time?
So I think that the single most prominent trend is the fact that almost everything that we are seeing is automated. It doesn't matter whether it's SQL injection, remote file include, or scraping, brute forcing, it's all automated. It's all being launched through scripts that are run on compromised computers. It's not a manual labor anymore. It's not sporadic. It's well organized, well coordinated. So that's one thing that should concern our customers, and it definitely concerns us, looking for solutions that would detect automation and block this type of automation.
And when this stuff is automated, that means that it can hit a much greater number of websites and the like?
Much greater number of websites, much more combinations and variations on attack vectors, because not all vulnerabilities are exploited the same way. So you would usually have to try a number of combination and variations. Once you have an automated script doing that for you, it becomes much easier. Your success rates are much higher. Your time to exploit is much shorter. So this is something that we're definitely working on identifying.
SQL injection, cross-site scripting, remote file, the scraping stuff. I mean, there's so many different vectors, types of attacks that organizations are going to get hit with. What is the takeaway? I mean, what should organizations be doing? Is it technology? Is it code review?
So I think it's two things. One, and this is a lesson for those who are not into application security now. If you do not have application security controls in place, and it could be either through better coding or through a web application firewall. If you do not emphasize web application security, you are going to be hacked. And it doesn't matter if you are a high-profile bank or a mom-and-pop shop, you are going to get hacked. Just heard from one of our customers, non-profit organization. They bought our solution and they intended to deploy it slowly, first on a monitoring basis and only after a period of time in active mode. They put it in monitoring, and after a week their management came to them and say, as fast as you can, move into blocking mode, because they were just alarmed by the sheer volume of attack traffic.
Yeah.
So this is one thing. The other thing, and it goes for us as well as our customers, you need to look for generic protection mechanisms for different types of attacks, such as SQL injection, remote file include, and so on. At the same time, in order to reduce the noise and the amount of malicious traffic that you have to handle, you need to look for solutions that also identify the attackers themselves. And these are solutions that rely on intelligence, reputation, controls, and constantly get updated with new information.
So it sounds like a cultural shift, that awareness among senior budget leaders to this problem is something that,
definitely,
especially for, like you mentioned, a non-profit. I mean, whereas
definitely, and we're seeing that, and we had a survey almost a year ago about organizations that were successful in pulling out, for example, PCI compliance initiatives, and it showed that one of the critical factors was to have management endorsement. And today it's very easy because, again, 5 years ago you'd look at traffic to your website, and once in a while you'll see an attack vector coming in. Today you're just taking the traffic and you very quickly find tons of attack vectors in it.
Yeah, so much out there. Okay, thank you for the insight. Amakai Schulman, CTO of Imperva. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, Dan.